Yeah, what I do now? Week 7, South Florida Air Crew now. What up? What's
What up? What
happening?
up? What up?
Y'all know what it is. Week 7, South Florida Air, bringing it to you live from the 954. Also, the 305. It's your boy, Big Versatile, my brother, my boy, my man, Silk, Slick Mick. What up, bro?
What's good, Vic? How you doing, baby?
Bruh, you already know what it is. Still blessed, still
Yes, sir.
breathing. And I'm ready to talk some football. I don't know about you.
I'm
What you
ready.
think?
Let's do it. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Picking up where we left off. That'll be Thursday night. Y'all know what we do. I'm gonna call this week, bro, the week of the uh-oh. Is that acceptable? Can we go with that? Can we go with the for this week?
I guess for now we can. That can be acceptable. Let's see how this
Uh
episode plays out.
See, look, it went from to See, I know why he's starting like that, right? But we ain't gonna start right there. We're gonna start at week 7, Thursday night. Let's see here. Chiefs versus whoever. Didn't really matter,
Remember
right?
them?
Whoever
Yeah,
showed up
it
that
wasn't.
week,
It wasn't important. We do know
they
they're the
weren't ready
Chiefs.
to play. So we already knew that. We didn't highlight that before we jumped on here anyway. So we're gonna keep on moving
No.
on. And we're gonna talk about that
Yeah.
real starting from the top. Meaning there's a team that feels like they started from the bottom, now they're here. They started from the bottom, now they whole team's right here. That would be the Jets in New York. What you think about that, bro? Jets Eagle.
Wow, what a game! What a game, man! What a game! Oh my gosh, the Eagles. Listen, seriously though, if you've been watching the Eagles play, they haven't been blowing people out. It's always been competitive. Granted, I understand that the Eagles are the NFC champs. So anytime you play your opponent, that opponent's going to get up for you. So it's going to be a big game, but they're not really blowing people out. All their games have been really competitive, very close. Washington Commanders had them on the ropes 2 weeks ago, so we saw this kind of happening. But wow, the Jets was able to take it. We knew the Jets had a good defense. We knew that. And they were able to keep Jalen Hurts in check, and for him to throw 3 interceptions in the second half, the Jets are for real. The Jets,
they've been progressing, bro. Week after week, they lost Aaron Rodgers. Season's over. Same game he went down, bro. We saw your boy Zach Wilson, which I would like to call Zach Morris at this point in time, right? Because he could pretty much be either one of them out there playing quarterback. Whether it's AC Slater or Zach Morris, dude, he had composure that game. He didn't show no emotion. He didn't get rattled in the first game he started, or technically he didn't start, but he finished it. And he still got out of that game playing well and not embarrassing himself. And ever since, it's kind of been a build-up. And the Jets have been showing a little grit and a little bit of resilience. And now they got them one. And they didn't just get them one, bro. They got them a big one.
Yeah, before the game. Honestly, to see the Jets come up like that was awesome.
They called out, hey, listen, they got a big catch that day, and it was an eagle. Let's talk about the next. Sure. On the docket. You might not want to talk about this. I don't know if this is a or I told you so. I didn't tell you so, but I mean, a lot of people would have said your Bucks didn't really have a chance against your Lions.
Listen, in all defense here, no excuses. Obviously, it happened, right. But I told you yesterday, the last show we did, that hey, this team's got grit. We know the team got grit. These guys are ready to play. The young man St. Brown, listen, man, they got weapons on the field. They are utilizing golf in a way that takes advantage of the things that he does well. And Dan Campbell have these guys as a well-oiled machine right now. So nothing taken away from these guys. We were in the game. We had an opportunity. But at the end of the day, we got out-coached. That's what happened on Sunday, last game. We got out-coached. Dan Campbell their schemes were better than our schemes. And, it showed on the field. So kudos to the Detroit Lions. I wasn't caught off guard. Obviously, I was picking with my heart. Obviously, I'm going to always pick the Bucks. I'm a Bucks fan. But going to that game, I was very skeptical on what the Bucks could do against the Lions. And for sure, the Lions did what I thought they were going to.
So, in reality, it looks like the Bucks caught one on the chin last week. That's okay. You live to fight again.
That's a
I
bad
don't know how they
pirate,
go.
man.
Hey, you feel like, hey, so you feeling good that y'all gonna rebound and do well this
Yeah, I feel
next
good
time
though. I'm
around? I
not
think the
feeling bad
Bucks on
about
the
it.
bye
I
week,
think
so
it's
y'all
going
should
to
be
be a
okay.
lesson. Nope, it's just going to be a lesson. It's going to be a lesson learned. We actually don't have a bye week. We got a big game coming up this week, but
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's right. That's right.
so
We'll
lesson
talk
learned.
about that. Let's
We
keep
will.
it moving. And if we're gonna keep
Yep.
it moving, I guess we got to move on to the next of the week. And I can't slap you in the face without slapping myself in the face. Because if we're gonna get on here and keep it a buck, we got to get on here and keep it a buck. And I got to keep it a buck about my New Orleans Saints. And I don't want to say it's an at this point in time. It's like because I don't know if we falling apart at this moment in time. I'm seeing the facial expressions on the sideline from my team and my players, especially from Alvin Kamara. Like, out of anybody who might ever watch this, and for whoever doesn't know yet, Alvin Kamara is my favorite player in the league by far, hands down. That's my guy. The last person I want to lose on the Saints is Alvin Kamara. The last person I want to lose motivation on my team is Alvin Kamara. And if he ain't feeling pretty confident, there's been a couple of years where Alvin Kamara has been getting overutilized and penalized for not having a good quarterback in the system. And all we need is somebody decent just to give him the ball and just to run a good offense. And bro, 13 points is just not going to do it for us, man. That's not Saints football, man. And all of a sudden, guess who we got caught slipping by? All right, we already talked about this. I already had my finger on their post for a little bit. I had already been getting a little bit excited about them. Houston, Texas, man. They playing football, and it's still to be determined. Jury's still out on them. Their division's still wide open. But I hate to see this L, bro. I hate to see it, and I'm not happy. And we really got to get it together this week. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, listen, you got Derek Carr, bro. Like, your quarterback is Derek Carr, so your team is playing like a team that's quarterbacked by Derek Carr. So you're getting what you expect. Honestly, you were hoping for the best. You really was for the situation, but the situation has come to fruition in what you kind of expected at the beginning of the year before you signed him.
I did.
You thought you were going to get a Derek Carr type player, and you got Derek Carr. So you're getting 13 points a game. You're losing to a rookie, C.J. Stroud. It's not a good look. I think it is interesting that your Texans or your Saints played the Texans, team that you were kind of high on, and you topped up C.J. Stroud at the beginning of the year. They come back and kind of beat you. Kind of like my dichotomy with this week as well, because I was talking up the Lions, and the Lions came and took care of my buck. So, hey, South Florida, what can I tell you? All right, moving on.
Keeping it real.
Yep.
Moving on. Let's see here. Did the Browns just walk in and do something to them Niners? No. Did they just not just beat them? Did they just do something to them Niners? Bro, I'm gonna go with a yes, because guess what I get to do this week? It's been a couple of weeks, but I get to say, I told you so. Man, I didn't think they was gonna be able to. Hey, listen, there was a question mark, a big question mark, if they were going to be able to do it, because I thought Deshaun Watson was going to be on the field. And matter of fact, when I watched the game, I saw that even their backup, your boy from UCLA, I can't remember his name, SCG, DTR. Okay, DTR. I thought he was going to be on the field. He wasn't on the field. So listen, they down to the third string, and you know what? But you can't sleep, because this man has proved himself last year. He played well for the Panthers. He stepped up, won some games. Everybody rallied around him last year. They rallied around him this game, and they came to play. And much like what you said about the Jets defense, the Browns defense, told you that they wasn't no punks. They showed up and said they weren't going to back down, and they didn't. Brock Purdy didn't look like Brock Purdy. I heard a lot of injury talk about him, but guess what? Got caught slipping.
Okay, let me say this. This is my take on this. Nothing taken away from the Browns. You're right. They well deserved. They deserved that victory. They won the game versus the 49ers. At the end of the game, it still came down to a field goal, and they missed it. So had they made the field goal, it wouldn't be the Niners would actually be 6-1. That being said, they are 5-1. They did lose the game. I understand. Not only did they lose the game, they lost Christian McCaffrey and they lost Deebo Samuel in the game. Big losses. Hopefully they won't be out for a long period of time. Yeah. This was also Brock Purdy's first regular season loss. he was undefeated as a starter. First L on the chin. A lot of first happened in this game. And what we also realized is, like you said, is that the Browns defense, the Browns were at home, mind you, the 49ers were on the road, but the Browns defense is no joke. They are fast. They are, man, they are physical, and they are very tough to stop. And PJ Walker, I believe that's the young man's name, the quarterback. He had a great game. Again, I think the difference between, like you said, bro, like PJ Walker has that experience over DTR, again, being a rookie. And I watched the highlights for the Ravens game, and I watched the 49ers game. And the difference between the two is that you could tell that DTR is a rookie, and you could tell that PJ Walker has been in the league. Because when the play is already blown up, when the defense is, you run a play and you realize that the play is not going to work, PJ Walker is going to throw the ball away. DTR is going to think like a rookie and be like, oh, I'm going to try to make a play. And that's where he makes the mistake at. PJ Walker is very consistent on this. He knows how to go through his reads and make quick decisions. And yeah, that's what they needed to win the game. And well, it was a great game and a great win for the Browns.
Agreed, bro. Mm-hmm. With that being said, I don't know if we want to call this but I think it qualifies. You know, I don't like to be boxed in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go with an for this one too, but for a different reason. I think you're going to automatically feel it when I say it. Jags, Colts. And this is why I'm going to throw it in just so I can get everybody else a heads up. Maybe they could guess early too why I'm saying on this one. Because the score was 37-20. Jags. Which means they're killing their division right now, bro. What you got to say about it?
I think you're right. We've been on the Jacksonville Jaguars on this show for a couple of weeks now. We've been talking about Trevor Lawrence. We've been talking about Trevor Etienne. These boys are putting it together. We're talking about how good the defense looked and them being in a weak division. That being said, we did just talk about the Houston Texans, who are kind of on a roll. So that should get interesting because these two teams haven't played yet. So they're going to have to play each other twice coming up. So this should be exciting. Now you got CJ Stroud kind of coming to his own. You got Trevor Lawrence doing his thing. Anthony Richardson looks like he's going to actually miss some time now. I think he's going to go into the IR. So that's going to probably put the Colts down on the bottom part of this division, with Jonathan Taylor coming back now playing as well. So that's unfortunate. So, but yeah, Jacksonville looks good. Houston, we'll see.
Well, let's be accurate though. They have played already though, and that's
Jacksonville and
Houston, right? That's the same game that Jacksonville let get away from them. That they should have won.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That's right.
So they haven't played for the second time, but that means that the second game around should be relatively interesting when we catch
even more important.
Finally, they're actually making this division relevant and interesting at the same time, which is important. So that should be good to be able to catch up and see that game and see how it turns out. Jacksonville shaping up to look like a good football team. I like that. We'll see. We'll get back to that too. So we're going to move on. Let's see here, bro. You tell me.
Yes.
Should we jump into college football from last week then? Or should we move on into the NFL from this week? What do you think?
Let's do
things that makes you go.
Let's do last week. Let's finish last week, and then we'll do next week.
All right. Well, then last week's football. Well, guess what continues? Because when we looked around,
man,
I'm not going to start where I want to start. I'm going to start somewhere else. Let's talk about Notre Dame and USC.
Wow.
Well, USC. Let me just say this, bro, and I'm going to go ahead and pass this mic. See, what I would tell everybody at the University of Southern California right now, and everybody who in Calabasas, and everybody in Los Angeles, California, maybe San Diego. See, if y'all was watching South Florida Ave, maybe you would have got a heads up that this was coming, because I hate to say it, but I kind of told you so. You kind of set yourself up to get beat by a beaten Notre Dame team, all because you've been playing around looking like a typical USC 2020, 2021, 2019, 2018. You've been looking like those teams. You play down to the level of your competition. You expected just everybody to lay down for you, and Notre Dame wasn't trying to do that. So you were number 5, and now, you might be officially eliminated from the playoffs, and you might be irrelevant this year for the rest of the year. What you got to say about that, bro?
I think those are all fair assessments. And I think the only one you probably didn't, mention was the fact that Caleb Williams might have messed up his shot with winning a Heisman Trophy as well. That was a bad performance over the weekend. That was a big game, bright lights. That's a game your Heisman Trophy. You're the Heisman Trophy winner. You're coming into that game, like you said, number 5 team in the nation. You got a 2-loss Notre Dame team. Can't lose that game, man. You can't lose that game. And they lost it horribly. And Notre Dame looked like the team that I thought they were going to look like at the beginning of the year. Again, not trying to justify my picks, but again, that Notre Dame team looks very good. And they showed USC just what they're about.
That's called too little too late. And that also confirms the one thing I'm not going to let you do for us next year. You ain't finna pigeonhole us at the beginning of the year before the first college football game even played. I guess it was week 2 when we got on here. But still, man, we got to see these cats play a little bit of football before we be throwing out Final Four talk, man. That's a lot. You put us on the hook.
That was our Final Four predictions at the beginning of the year. None of us have seen no team plays. We were just guessing off of what do we think, who has had the best opportunity or the right road to get there. And I picked my four teams.
We're gonna have to be able to give ourselves, for the sake of our own benefits, an opportunity for an update a little later in the season to see if we can get this a little bit more accurately. Because again, I didn't like that idea. But
no, again, it was just something. Listen, once after week 7, after this week, and the BCS ranking starts coming into play, we can then actually say, okay, we'll have a clear picture on who would be possible to make the Final Four.
All right, let's roll with that. Look forward to that in the future. Yeah. Last thing I got to say about USC. I mean, listen, out of anybody, y'all should have known that all eyes on y'all, and y'all dropped that ball. Man,
it's a big loss.
What you thinking about?
It's a big loss.
Moving on.
Tough loss.
29-0. Hey, bro, I just want to say this for everybody who might be tuning in to South Florida app. It was really good to see you last week, bro. We got to link up in Old Town. That's Orlando for those who might be tuning in from other places in the nation, and link up and just, hang out, cook some food on the grill. That was awesome. We also got to catch this game, Colorado versus Stanford. Out of all teams.
It was on a Friday night, prime time.
And I hate to say I told you so, but go rewind the tape, folks. Just check out some South Florida ad. You're going to see your boy Vic Versatile on here saying, you know what? Stanford has a reputation for coming in here and just ruining people's seasons. We were talking about your boy Emmett Smith's son, who's playing for Stanford right now, and trying to figure out exactly why he's playing for them. Maybe he wanted to be on the type of team that likes to ruin seasons. I don't know, because Christian McCaffrey might have made that decision too. I'm just saying, when it comes to Stanford, they're kind of good at it. What we didn't expect, which is why we both tuned out at halftime, is that they was going to drop a 29-point lead.
Ouch. I mean, honestly, there's no other word to better describe what happened on Friday night than out. You've seen the memes of Prime, Coach Prime at halftime where he's 29-0 at half, and at the end of the game, he's, because it's 46-43 halftime, like double overtime. I woke up to the score. Honestly, like you're saying, bro, we were together. We were watching 29-0. I think you fell asleep around halftime. I decided to go to bed a little bit later than that, a little bit. I think it was like early third quarter. And I had the TV on, and I was falling asleep, and I looked up for a second. It was 29-6, and I didn't bat an eye. I just cut the television off. I'm like, it's a wrap. Cut the television off. So when I wake up in the morning, and the first thing I see on my phone is all Bleacher Report updates. Is just final overtime, double overtime. I'm like, what happened, bro? You can't get beat in double overtime with a 29-point lead at home versus Stanford. Stanford was 1-4 last
Uh-oh.
season. So, needless to say, a little bit of that lights and glamours dropped out of Colorado. A little bit of humble pie was served up over the weekend, and every team can use a little humble pie. And from what I understand, I think even allegedly, I don't know this to be true or not, but allegedly, Shador was posting merch from his Instagram account at halftime. So, maybe those things won't happen
Oh,
now during a game.
perfect segue, bro, because we done talked about this before in the past, and I don't think it's over yet. You already said it. If you had a little bit of humble posture, dude, I'm hoping that's you. We're talking to you right now. Only you, bro. I know you balling out there. We support you, bro. You killing it the
All day.
NCAA, especially as a quarterback. You're doing your thing. But, bro, when you want to post some merch, post this right here for your boy. It's called humble. And what we want you to do is just stay humble throughout the entire season, bro. Because stuff like that can easily come back and bite you in the butt. And I hope you didn't do it. But if you did, you only got you to blame. And maybe you should be just a little bit more humble. I'm just saying. But
Right.
we gonna keep it moving on that point.
Yes.
Do we have any more
Last one.
uh-ohs?
We got one win. We got up. I don't know if it's a
No, we got another uh-oh. We got another uh-oh. And then we're gonna move on to whatever you want to talk about after that. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Did Washington just beat Oregon?
They did.
In Seattle?
Great game.
Oh, by the way, shout out Bleacher Report. We gave you a little shout out. Shout out Bleacher Report. Hey,
sure.
hey, we here. Holla at your boys.
Yeah.
Shout out to Seattle, where my son's born at. Places
No
near
doubt.
and dear to my heart.
Absolutely.
But did the University of Washington beat the University of Oregon at home convincingly?
Wow. Good game. Michael Penix Jr. is the name. And he came to play, man. Definitely submitted himself as one of the contenders for the Heisman Trophy. Showed some resolve, throwing some great passes. I like everything that they're doing in Washington. I like the defense. I like the way they run the ball. Surprisingly, they run the ball very well in an offense that throws the ball a lot. And I was really surprised to see that. Yeah, so they do everything from special teams to offense to defense, every level. And Bo Nix was, he was being a competitor over the weekend. He was. It was fun to see him step up. But at the end of the day, we saw the better team win, and Washington is for real. They're definitely out here.
I agree with you. They ran the ball surprisingly well. I like to see that. It was very reminiscent of the Washington from back in the day. Your boy.
You said that while we were watching. You said that while we were watching the game. As a matter of fact,
I was watching the game. It was good to see them running the ball like that. It was really good.
Yeah.
What's his name? What's the cat name? Quarterback for Washington again?
Michael Penix Jr.
Mr. Penix, listen, bro, he was under a lot of pressure, realistically speaking. I thought he was going to go in there and just be a freaking barn burner shootout, and they just throwing the ball everywhere. But he actually was under a lot of pressure and still, kept it together and made some good plays. So that was interesting to see. Maybe they are for real, but again, Seattle, you're near and dear to my heart, but y'all still got to prove it, man. You still the University of Washington. Y'all kind of like USC in my book when it comes to that. Y'all good to drop a game every now and then. So I'm going to need y'all to stay focused, stay humble, and watch out for Washington State because I already told you about them. I don't want to hit you with a I told you so, but you better watch South Florida Ave, and maybe you can avoid that mistake.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
One more well, I don't know if it's an but
last game of the week
game that we could talk about for this week, last week I should say, and that would be the University of Florida. I'm not gonna say that. You're excited about it. I know you're excited about it.
Come on, Gators, get up and go. Billy's first road SEC win. Big game. Okay. So just want to shout out the Gators. We don't even have to elaborate on it. Wasn't much to talk about. We could have easily lost the game, but we won it. So we're going to acknowledge the fact that we took the W, and we're going to keep it moving. Go Gators.
All right, that's what we're going to leave it at. With a road win for the Gators, Billy Napier first SEC road win or just first road win, period?
First.
Which one? SEC?
Both.
Billy.
We haven't won any games on the road. This is his first road victory.
That ain't a good point of topic of conversation, Billy. But moving
Listen,
on,
man.
We're gonna leave you alone this week, Billy. Let's move on. Let's talk about week 7 NFL football. Week.
Woo, we got a lot of games. We got
NCAA football.
We got some games. Let's do it.
NFL. Week 7.
Yes.
Game of the week.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Thursday night, Jags Saints.
Wow. This is the game of the week?
It's in my head, it's the game of the week, bro. Come on now.
Okay, say that. Okay, Jags Saints, game of the week. Listen.
Big game, bro.
You're behind a buzzsaw here, man. I don't know what to tell you. You're really behind a buzzsaw. You know the Jags are rolling. You're not right now. And the game is Thursday, which is just a couple of days away. If Derek Carr doesn't play, does that mean we're going to see Jameis Winston? Because if we are,
is Derek Carr hurt?
Isn't he? I'm thinking about Garoppolo. I'm so sorry. I'm thinking about Garoppolo. Garoppolo got hurt. I don't know if Derek Carr's hurt or not.
Well, the truth is, apparently he's been complaining about some type of shoulder, but remember, he played an entire game and didn't look like it was hurting too much.
Okay.
The question is forget about if he's going to be on the field. The question is he going to play? And that is the question. So here's the first time I told you so. And I'm going to go on the limbs for my boys right now. Only because, you know what? It's the Saints, man. I got to give them that energy back. I've been telling them, y'all got to watch out. The results have been pretty accurate, but now I'm helping you guys out. This week, bro, is going to be the week that Derek Carr shows us that Derek Carr that people have a tendency to talk about once or twice a year. 300 yards, 20-point game. We might win by 14 points, maybe close to 20. Excellent looking game for the New Orleans Saints. I'm assuming we're probably playing at home. I'm just throwing it out. I don't really know. Hoping we're playing at home. 20-point game, 14-point W, 300 yards, Derek Carr.
All right.
Chilling, laughing on the sideline. Jameis Winston.
At this point, we ain't even.
Jameis Winston might get in the game.
We ain't even doing.
Because we went into so well. Eating chicken.
Okay.
Barbecue.
All right.
We doing all that this week. We back, baby. New Orleans. Watch out. So
this ain't no analysis. This just you just being emotional right now.
It's a grenade, bro.
That's what you're telling me.
It's a grenade.
Clearly this is a grenade because there is no analysis behind this. This is all just how you feeling. And you feel like oh, man,
I mean, we can analyze it.
Vic,
we can talk about how well
we
can talk about how well the Jags look. We can talk about how well the Jags look. But it doesn't matter where we're at as a team right now. We should be able to out-experience the Jacksonville Jaguars and pull this game out.
Victor,
and I'm not trying to win by 7 points tonight. We're winning by 21.
Vic,
20.
Why? What makes you think that, Vic? You got a quarterback that can't complete passes to your number one running wide receiver. You got an O-line that can't create holes for your number one running back. You got a defense that acts like they don't want to cover people in the secondary. What makes you feel like this is going to be a game y'all going to win?
Primetime, all eyes on us.
Got it.
We got this one tonight.
Got it.
Who that?
So betting with your heart, not with your head. Got it.
Slow down, Woody. We got this one, Woody.
Listen, if you catch your L, all I know is next week, if you catch an L, I'm going to need this whole thing to switch up. You can't come back with this same kind of strategy if they catch this L on Thursday, bro.
Hey, man, if I go to bat and put my name out there for my University of Miami, I ain't got no problem with going ahead and going to bat for my New Orleans Saints. Y'all better not let me down, bro. Y'all better check out the South Florida Athletes to represent for real.
We're going to see.
Week 7, moving on.
Yes.
Because you ain't that don't mean you off the hook. Because at the end of the day,
I know.
What you got to say about them Falcons versus them Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week?
Big game
Are you nervous?
for the division. Staying in the division. Not at all. Not at all. Did you see what happened to the Falcons last week? We're gonna try to do that same thing this week. You got a young man at quarterback who does confidence like it might be a little shaken. We're gonna ride that wave. We're gonna go ahead and take care of business when it comes to the Falcons. This is a big game for the division. Obviously, we're looking at the NFC South, and you already got the Saints that's kind of bringing up the rear with the Panthers. So whoever wins this game between the Falcons and the Bucs can crown themselves in the division lead. Probably going to win the division. So this is a big game this weekend. I'm expecting the Bucs to go out, take care of business. I'm not seeing any problems. Both teams caught an L last week. Both teams are going to be looking for a victory. No reason why Baker Mayfield and the boys don't get it done.
You didn't have to talk about the rear like that, man. I mean, you could have just left it at what the Bucs going to do against the Falcons, big game in the divisions, and leave it at that. But I see how you like to throw shade. See how you like to throw shade.
I'm throwing shade. Let's just make it facts. I'm just talking about
the
division. I'm just talking about the division.
I see you talk about it now. It ain't going to last like that long. And tell you what, don't get scared tomorrow when them Saints put up 21 extra points against them Jags tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Then we're going to have something to talk about. Moving on.
Believe that. You don't believe that. Anyways, what you got?
Colts, Browns.
Yes.
Well,
Colts,
what
Browns.
can I say?
What can you say?
Not much to say about the Colts, but I can say that the Browns get another opportunity to go ahead and get another notch on their belt.
Are the Browns turning a corner with PJ Walker?
Doesn't matter who's starting at quarterback for them. Apparently. Is it really all about the quarterback? Never has been since I've been playing football. Hasn't been like that since I've been playing football. It takes 22 people the last time I checked to get a W.
No, they're looking good. They're looking real good. And this, again, should be I don't want to say easy win, but the Colts are really not a very good team right now. And, this should be something that the Browns are able to do. I agree with you. So
talk about division.
Are the Browns turning the corner?
We'll get back to that. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Interesting. You already set it up. But let's move on because that's not the only interesting game of the week. The Browns pretty much have to be excited about this game. The Browns need to be real hungry to eat this game because the Ravens are also playing the Lions. And that's going to be the second best game of the week, actually.
That should be a good one. And speaking of divisions, obviously, you're talking about the Browns. The Browns would love to see the Ravens catch an L to these Lions, these very hot, smoking hot Detroit Lions. It's going to be interesting to see what Lamar Jackson is able to do against that defense. That defense flies around. It's going to be an interesting game. You're right. That's going to be probably one of the best games of the weekend to see the Ravens versus Lions. And who would have thought that, maybe at the beginning of the year, or maybe even last year, like next year, I can't wait to see Ravens Lions. But guess what? That's going to be a juicy game.
Yeah, bro. And the Ravens defense is not that stellar. So guess what?
They're not that good. It's going to be
Lions'
interesting.
Consistent offense could actually cause a problem. That's going to be
really interesting. Very interesting.
But that's not the only interesting game of the week. The third most interesting game of the week, Dolphins-Eagles, bro.
Yeah, that's a big game. Dolphins-Eagles indeed. Listen, it would have been even better if the Eagles were undefeated going into the game. Catching that L last week was tough, but that should make them a little bit more sour. So now they have even more incentive to want to make sure they catch this W. So that puts two really good offenses on the field. It's going to be exciting to watch, see which defense can stand up to which defense, which offense. But, man, it's going to be exciting. Tua, Jalen Hurts, Alabama, by way of Oklahoma. So it's going to be exciting to watch. I can't wait to see it.
I think it makes it more interesting, bro, because, hey, if the Eagles lose and they're undefeated, they could get on TV and be like, you know what? It's okay. We'll be okay. We'll rebound. Nah, it makes it more interesting now because they already caught an L, and so did the Dolphins. So this should be probably the most interesting game for the middle of the season right now.
Is this possibly a Super Bowl preview?
Absolutely not.
No?
Absolutely not. And I'm moving on.
No, you can't see these two teams in the that's why I asked it.
There's one name that I mentioned and one term that I coined at the beginning of this show, beginning of this season. You already know where I'm going with this because I think you tried it. Jordan Mahomes. No, not a Super Bowl preview. Vikings Niners. Interesting. Yeah.
Why, Vic, why is this game interesting? 49ers, Vikings. Why is it interesting?
Why is this game interesting? Well, the Vikings, the division is still open. Somehow, their division is still kind of open. Wow.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Niners, I don't know. They need a rebound win. The
They
Vikings
do.
have a chance to, I don't know, have playoff contention last year. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know.
This is not interesting
No,
to
I
me
mean,
at all. What you think?
I don't know. I think it is. I think because of some of the reasons you're saying. First of all, there's no Debo, there's no Christian McCaffrey. That'll be a huge loss for the 49ers. What does that team look like without those two key players? You're also going to have Brock Purdy coming off his first loss. Does that make a difference? I don't know. The Vikings are desperate for a win. Desperate. Yeah, there's no Justin Jefferson there, but Kirk Cousins want to win. I guarantee you he doesn't go out there trying to lose. And neither does anybody else on the team. So, yeah, they're going to have some pride. And if they are able to give the 49ers their second straight loss, I think we're going to start looking at this 49ers team a little bit differently. So,
and that would also mean that they're giving the Vikings their second straight win.
Exactly. What does that
mean? Moving on.
Good stuff to watch. Yeah, that's it for NFL. NFL's done.
Week 8.
Done.
NCAA football. What you got?
Yeah.
Give me a rundown.
The biggest games of the biggest game of the weekend is going to be number 3 versus number 6. You got Ohio State versus Penn State. Big game. Penn State's got to go to Ohio State to play in the horseshoe. What you think?
Well, at least it's giving us something to watch this week. I mean, this game has been relatively irrelevant for so many years now.
I agree.
We grew up, with this being a big game every single year. Then we had the super fall off. And then, it wasn't relevant for multiple years, even as much as they try to hype it up and big it up, it wasn't. So it'll be good to watch. Ohio State obviously is going to walk out of there with an easy win. Whatever. I can go either way with these teams, but I think it'll be good for you to get an Ohio State win so you can keep your Final Four intact. What you got?
No. I don't even worry about that at this point. Honestly, I just want to see a good game. But I mean, kind of to your point though, like I'm not going to harp on it, but yeah, it's like any year you see in Ohio State, Penn State, you don't think twice about Penn State beating Ohio State. You don't think twice about it. It's like, ooh, and everybody else in the nation tries to make it as though it's a rivalry or it's a big game. You want people to start taking you for real. You want people to treat you like the team that you think you are in your head. You want to be recognized as a team that won national championships and make waves in the national scene. Well, you got to win games like this, Penn State. Are you for real? Or are you just out here going through the waves, going through the motions, winning enough games so your record looks good enough so that way when you do play Ohio State, it could be a big deal and you catch the same L. Penn State, do something. That's my motivational talk to Penn State.
Well, they have it. That's all that needs to be said about that. We'll see what happens. I'll be watching it for sure. Again, at least it's giving us something to watch. What else we got to watch this weekend?
We have Alabama. Bounce back Alabama at that versus the boys from Rocky Top, the bounce back Volunteers. Both have moved up into the rankings. Both are now sitting in the top 15. Alabama, Tennessee.
Watch out. I don't know, man. This game could go either way, and it's huge implications either way, man. I mean, we talked about Alabama. Alabama won a couple games. They still in the conversation somehow, some way. As much as
Alabama's only got one loss. Alabama only
has one loss. So. They got one loss. They don't look like the Alabama that I know that I called out at the beginning of the year. But hey, they still in the conversation and they still Alabama. So I don't put anything past Nick Saban. But Tennessee has shown what Tennessee does for the last couple of years. So they looking at this as an opportunity as well. I think Tennessee only got one loss too.
So they do, bro. Tennessee only has one loss.
So at the end of the day, this thing, the whole NCAA is still wide open. Why not Tennessee? Why not Alabama? Huge game. I don't know.
I agree, bro. I think both teams should be looking at this as an opportunity to put themselves back into the national picture. Like if you really want to see, you both have one loss. You were disappointed with your loss. You have an opportunity to write your season, even with that L. Whoever wins this game is putting themselves back into the national championship contention picture. And that's what you want to see. So go out there. You got Josh Heupel, Nick Saban. I know Josh Heupel is going to throw the kitchen sink at Alabama. This should be one of the best games of the weekend. Should be exciting to watch.
Agreed. What else we got, bro? Fill me in.
Huh? If you had to, no, wait. If you had to pick though, who you going with?
Alabama.
If you had to pick,
Alabama.
I think I'm gonna do Tennessee.
Oh, all right. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Next game. FSU versus a very resilient one-loss Duke team.
Well, I hate to bring it out. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to throw the line out there real quick. I don't want to have to say I told you so this week, FSU. I'm going to need your boys to tune in right now. I tried to tell you early, I didn't like the T-shirt idea, bro. Now you got a game on your Now you got a game on your schedule that one team is looking for some lunch and some dinner. So all I'm trying to say is I'm going to need to see with my own eyes, because I'm not even going to say I told you so on this one until I watch the game. I need to see FSU walk out on the field like they've been prepared and like I don't need to see them swaggy this week. I need to see them looking like FSU, because if they let their guard down, I don't want to say I told you so, but they might catch their first L of the season against the Duke Blue Devils.
Wow.
Could be NC State.
Yeah.
Could be Maryland.
Disciplined. Yep. This is a very disciplined, very Duke. Athletic. It might be. This is a very disciplined, very athletic Duke team. It's going to be fun to watch the game. FSU has been battle tested. That's the one thing you can say about FSU this year. Tough game with LSU. Very tough game up in Boston College. They've been battle tested. I don't want to, and you know how I feel about Florida State. I'm not trying to give them credit for anything, but I got to call a spade a spade. And right now, they probably are the most prepared college football team in the nation, I feel like, from a battle test standpoint. Having to play that tough LSU team like that at the beginning of the year, having that really tough test in Boston College, the weather was all crazy and bad, and then them to still pull that victory out, looked real good. So they can't get caught slipping. This is going to be a great game to watch. I think FSU comes out on top. We'll see.
You did mention that the university or Duke University is one of the most disciplined teams that you've seen in a while. Did you mention that? Or they are a disciplined team at the end of the day? Well, if you take a disciplined team and you add game film, they've got a lot of game film to identify a lot of mistakes that FSU have been making over the last few weeks against teams they shouldn't have probably been making those mistakes against. Been in real close games. Opportunity to take advantage of some of them holes, so they better be watch out. We'll see who's more disciplined on Saturday. That's
a really good point. No, that's a great point. And Duke is really well coached. You're making great points. I mean, if they coach these boys up, it's going to be fun to watch. One more game. Last game of the weekend. Last game of the weekend. And that was, I'm going to tell you the game. It's USC versus Utah. Probably not like a big game. Probably not like a shocker game. But if USC was to drop 2 games in a row, this is a very good Utah team. Very good Utah team. Utah looks at USC like the team that they are there to beat for the Pac-12 championship. So Utah is not taking this game lightly. And if USC comes in this game with a Notre Dame hangover, I can guarantee you Utah is going to give USC all the business that they want.
I mean, yeah. And guess what? Unfortunately, we still talk about the University of Southern California. They are good for a couple drop balls, meaning games that they should be winning, games that they're not prepared for, that they should be prepared for, and all of a sudden they're down 36-7 in the second quarter. The quarterback ain't looking real good. And next thing you know, we ain't talking about USC no more. We've had this conversation before. USC, don't get caught slipping. Because all eyes on you, still. You only got one loss. You still in the conversation. But
Don't
tell
make
you
it
what,
two.
don't make it two. Could be.
Don't do that. Don't do
Could
that.
be.
That's all I got, bro.
Gators off this
That's
week?
it. Gators off this week, baby. We got to buy because next weekend is the largest outdoor cocktail party. Florida, Georgia, Jacksonville. It's on.
All right, bro. We out here. South Florida app, episode 7.
Yes, sir.
Week 7.
We'll
You
holler
know
at
what
y'all.
we do. Y'all know what to do.
Thanks
Like,
for tuning in.
subscribe, share.
Appreciate y'all. Like,
Drop a
subscribe,
comment.
share.
We
all
need
that.
y'all on here.
Do that.
Holla at y'all.
Please.
Bro, till
Appreciate
next
y'all.
time.
Yes, sir.
Be
Love
good,
you, bro. Holla at you. What's up?
Peace.
Later.